having a great week. I was waiting for you. That's why I was blowing some bubbles. I was waiting for a long time. I thought you were going to come around the same time. But I really like bubbles, so I'm glad you came a little late. So I really, really, really like bubbles, and they make me happy. You know what? I've got to tell you about Moses and the rest of the story, because that story made me so happy. I am really, really excited. Now, before I tell you, do you remember what happened the first week? Yeah, the first week I told you about the story of Moses. What was it? God spoke to Moses in what? That's right, a burning bush. I don't know, it was a weird bush. It burned, it didn't burn. It burned, it didn't burn. It burned, it didn't burn. But it wasn't burning, but it was burning. But it was burning like forever, and it wasn't going away. I don't know. So here's the bush. It's burning. God spoke to Moses about going back to Egypt and helping the people of Israel and letting them out so they can be free to worship God. Then the second week, Moses went to Egypt and he told the people, guess what? He told all the people of Israel, says, we're going to leave and God's going to help us. And they probably weren't trusting. They're like, oh, we've been here forever. We've been slaves and like everything's horrible. But Moses told them, you got to trust God because God's going to give you strength, kind of like strength like an eagle. Right? And it was so awesome. And then he did that part, and then remember the third week, Moses had to go and talk to Pharaoh, the leader. They knew each other, but the problem, he was going to tell him something that wasn't going to make him very happy. Actually, was going to make him very, very angry, and it did. It made him so angry that God had to send plagues because he wouldn't listen to God, and he kept saying, no, I'm going to do what I want, and God says, no, I don't think so, Jose. You're going to do what I tell you. And guess what? God sent like 10 plagues. Now, I'm going to tell you the last part of the story. Now, I think this is the coolest part of the story. And I'll tell you why at the end. See, God's going to rescue the people of Israel. So here's what happened. Pharaoh was there, and he had said, no. But at the end, he said, fine, take them, take everything you want. Take some gold, take the animals, take everything, just leave. I don't ever want to see you again. So the people of Israel, they took everything. They packed probably all their bags and their nice luggage. And then they were walking and they were leaving, and they probably had backpacks and everything. They had all their animals and everything. And they're going and they're going and they're walking. And then, see, it wasn't that easy. What happened then is that Pharaoh got angry again. He did. He really got angry because he thought, I made a mistake. I shouldn't have let them go. So he said, get the army, get the horses, get everybody, get the arrows, get everyone. We're going to go back to get Israel. We're going to get them and we're going to put them back to work because they're going to have to work harder for wasting all this time. That's right. That's what happened. And then they start rushing to go get them. They're rushing. See, the people of Israel, they know they were coming, so they're walking, and they get to the Red Sea, it's called. It's like lots and lots of water. They get to the Red Sea, and they're standing there like, oh, how are we going to do now? Then they turn around because they hear some noises, and they see that the Egyptians, all the military and all the strong people are coming after them, and they don't seem very happy. Actually, they seem kind of angry because they're making some really weird noises like, and they're coming after them. And so they get scared. And they're like, Moses. They got mad at Moses too. Say, what? You brought us here so we could die here? We could have just stayed in Egypt. At least we had a little bit of food. What's going to happen? See, and then the coolest thing happens. And it's all of a sudden, this cloud comes and fire comes and then everything, and all of a sudden the people couldn't go. The Egyptians, they were trying to get it, and something was stopping them, and they couldn't go to get the Israelites. But then the Israel's still stuck there because there's water, and then there's all of Egypt trying to attack them, and they don't know what to do. So then Moses, he took his staff and he raised it up and he put it in the water, and guess what happened? Yeah, I think you know what happened. It says the Bible tells us that the water started to shake. I don't know, maybe the fishes were shaking because the water started to split in the Red Sea. It really, really did. It started to split, and it was dry ground. It was like dry ground. Like, have you ever seen that? Maybe next time you take a bath, I say, okay, sit in the water and then say, the water split, and see if it happens. I bet you it won't happen. I tried, didn't happen. Okay, so there, all of a sudden they see the dry ground. So the people of of Israel, they start walking. And it must have been scary because they're walking and there's probably like water on one side, water on the other. They probably saw fishes swimming. It must have been like when you see the fishes in a tank of water, right? And in the aquarium, and you see them and they're probably swimming. But now it's like real water. There was no glass there. So they must have been walking. Maybe they even saw a whale or a shark or something. They were walking. And eventually the people in Egypt started coming after them, right? They were so angry. They were going to hurt them really, really badly. But they were coming after, they were coming. And now the people of Israel almost made it to the other side. And the Egyptian people are running. They're going on their horses. And they catch up. And they're, well, not catch up. They're almost to catch up. They're in the water. They can see the water. They're going. And then the Bible tells us that the water closed. It closed on all of the Egyptians. It did. See, God protected, God rescued all the people of Israel that day so that they could worship God once again. You know why I love this story? You know why it's my favorite story? It's because it reminds me of Jesus and how Jesus died for you and I. Yes, that's a story, but it's trying to tell us a little hidden story inside. It's trying to tell us that Jesus was going to come and save us, and he did. Jesus came and he died for us, and he saved us. See, that's what's cool of the story about Moses. It's the way he saved all the people of Israel. God is saving us too. Okay, kids, now I love these bubbles. I am so excited because of this story. It's the most awesome story ever because how God saved Israel and God saves you and I. I'm so excited. I even got this. Yeah! Okay, kids, I'm going to blow some bubbles. Have yourself a great day. Bye, kids. Bye!